Oh, I am live. Oh, man. You guys caught me futzing with my hair again. Um, Actually, guys, hey, how's everybody doing? Um, this episode of Hot Wheels and a Dork is actually coming to you live from, of course, right over my shoulder, 24/7 WPL. And we stream actually live here in McHenry, Illinois. And Hot Wheels and a Dork, this is just something fun that I do for myself. Still, even though quite a few people have asked, and that's cool, that's okay. Uh, Quite a few people have asked. No one's really stepped up to say, let's do this. But if you want a spot wheel. If you want to sponsor Hot Wheels, eh? And, a dork, me, you want to sponsor the show, that's fine and dandy. This is really more something that's just so much fun for me. And as you all know by now, if you've been watching these, it's a little therapeutic. And that's because as a kid, I guess I kind of repeat this story on every episode, but of course we were, as the joke goes, we were po. We were po because all we could afford was the first po. We couldn't afford the other or to be poor. We was po, and and when we got things, toys that outside of birthdays, outside of Christmas, I don't ever really remember Easter being a toy thing. I guess that was later, I don't know. Evidently, that is a toy thing. Sometimes for kids, that's a toy thing. I see all the Easter baskets in stores these days. We kind of did for our kids, but it was still more the Easter basket and the eggs and the candy and the chocolate and the whole bunny thing and that's really more what Easter was. Of course, it's much more. Easter is it's that's a holy holiday, so it wasn't really. And I know Christmas is as well. I don't know. Easter was not the big thing, I guess, that it is for most families and has been for a long time in ours. But we got when I loved Hot Wheels as a kid, absolutely loved them. And of course, I grew up 60s and 70s and kind of came of age in the 80s, I suppose. But loved Hot Wheels, but I would never open them when my dad got them for me because I wanted them to stay new. And I figured if I didn't open them, they wouldn't get old. And because I had a new toy and it was so exciting. Just loved that I had a new toy and I wanted it to stay new. So over the years, there were a few that did get open. And in fact, this is not one of those that I had growing up. This is one that I acquired much later on. In fact, this might be one that I picked up when my son was born, because my son was born in 93. This car's from 94. And uh, well, I've got more than just one son, but my wife and I, our first son was born in 1993. This car is from 94, so it's a 25-year-old car. My son will be 26 coming up here over the summer. And so this is probably one of those that I actually picked up when he was a baby. And of course, my wife probably said, "Why are you buying that? He's a baby. He's too little to play with that." It got put away with stuff and maybe opened later on by him. This is a twin set, and as you can see, it's already opened out of the package. And most of you know, I generally wrap my opened cars now. I use commonly coffee filters because they're super cheap. They absorb water, keep cars pretty dry, and do a little bit to protect the paint. Not a lot, just a little bit. They're already open, so they don't have, when they're out of their original package, they don't have that much value. I'm going to open this. This car is again 2025. This is a 25-year-old toy. 25. Again, this car's older than my younger children. It's older than my middle son, older than my daughter. So here we go. And as you can see, here, I'll hold that up. That's the Hot Wheels Mattel 1994 Malaysia. It's got the plastic bottom, got the original rivet in there. The wheels are actually in pretty good shape. The axles are not bent at all. I like this. It's pretty cool. Just, one of the, it's not based on any actual car. It's just a design, but it has sort of that speed racer look to it. I actually have a lot of speed racer cars. That might be an entirely different kind of episode once we, if we burn out on Hot Wheels, I'll start getting the speed racer cars out. But oh, I love speed racer as a kid. That kids think they're into, they think anime is a thing now. Go back and watch Speed Racer from the I think those were what in the 60s. The Well, my favorite all-time cartoon was Speed Racer. Loved that friggin' show. Loved the car, Mark V. But anyway, this kind of reminded me of that when I got it, and still does today. It's really very cool. A lot of chrome. Really, just kind of a cool design. Whoever designed this at Hot Wheels, man, you did a good job. This is a really cool car. A lot of detail. Now you can see a lot of the white paint is very well worn away, and just not looking the greatest in some spots. But again, this is a 25-year-old toy, 25-year-old toy, and it was played with. I know my son played with this, and I mean, this was actually one that I found in our garage with a couple of the other cars I showed you recently that were just sitting in the garage. So how they made it from the house to the garage, and they sat around in the garage for many, many years, just out in the open. So this has probably sat through a few winters and summers and all kinds of stuff, just out in the garage, hanging out, doing not a darn thing, because it probably got picked up at one time from being in the yard. But it is in pretty decent shape. I did actually wash this one off a bit before wrapping it the last time I wrapped it, and as I did a couple of the others. This car, I don't know that I'd even bother seeing about restoring it. I mean, a lot of the chrome's gone off the plastic up here and right here, but it's still pretty cool, and it's a pretty good roller. You guys can't see it the way this camera's set up today, but it still rolls well. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm a dork. I know. Yeah. I really like this one. It's really very, very cool. And I just like all the detail that's in these. The pipes here, I think these have a little bit more of the chrome left on them there. The engine, you know, it's just uh, the exhaust coming back here, coming out there. You got the molded in lights, which is really cool. The fins, the dual rear fins, and yeah, I don't know. I just like this car. I think it's kind of cool. Reminds me of the Speed Racer stuff. And when the Speed Racer movie came out, the live action, I don't think it did that well at the box office. I ate it like it was candy. I ate that movie up. I took my whole family to see that, even my wife, who was so sweet to actually sit through that movie with our kids. None of our kids knew who Speed Racer was. They didn't care who Speed Racer was. My wife, she didn't care about that movie at all either. I own it. I have the DVD at home and watch it every now and then. I might actually watch that this weekend coming up just because I'll be able to. And then thinking about it, there's something about Speed Racer that just he got in that car. That Mach 5 was amazing, and it did all the coolest stuff in the world. And to see it in live action is amazing. And an app. I'm going to do a quick mention before we have this new one to open, and we will open it. We'll open it. You guys know I don't like opening these, but that's part of what this is about. At Volo Auto Museum in Volo, Illinois, they have one of the Mark Fives from the movie. Unfortunately, they let one of the cast. I don't know if it was the guy who played Speed. I can't even remember his name. Don't care what his name was. I remember John Goodman playing Pops. He did a really good job of that. But that movie to me is all about the car. It was always all about the car. To let someone write on that car, I'm like, why on earth would you do that? And I'll tell you guys something super super stupid and silly. A number of years ago, they happened to be having a day where you could go sit in the Mark V and have your picture taken. They publicized that, put it out there, and it happened to be on my birthday. Not kidding at all. The picture day in the Mark V happened to be on my birthday. And I showed up. A grown ass man shows up to sit in the Mark V to have his picture taken. They said, "Sorry, sir, you can't sit in the Mark V." What do you mean? You just put it out there. Come sit in the Mark V to get your picture taken. I'll pay for it. I don't care. You have to be 12 or under. Are you kidding me? There's not a 12-year-old alive who knows who Speed Racer was, who cares who Speed Racer was. Speed Racer was out in the 60s and a little bit in the 70s. And people who followed Speed Racer and knew what he was and were a big, big fan, they're in my age group now. And now I'm in, this was when I was in my 40s. Now I'm in my freaking 50s. I would still go sit in that car to have my picture taken. That's what, I mean, that's as big a deal as that car was to me growing up as a kid. It was just an amazing cartoon, and then to see it in live action in a movie, and I know 90% of that movie was CGI, but then to actually see the car come to life sitting there in Volo was just the little mind synopsis triggers going off, just giving all the good feels going down. It was just first time I saw it there, I'm like, the 6-year-old in me came out immediately, and it just is. That's one of my childhood memories. The Speed Racer cartoon just is something that I absolutely loved and still do to this day. Anyway, in keeping with the theme, I thought that because this is a pretty wild design, it's not based on anything real. This is obviously not based on anything real. I'm trying to keep the light from shifting too much, but I really liked the colors on this. It's purple and gold. Purple gold, a little bit of black in there. And this was for 2018. It does have the 50th anniversary logo. So it's survived in its pack for a year. In fact, the back of the package has the copyright date of 2017 for Mattel. And this does say special feature, special feature. And it says see back for details. And the special feature is right here. So something slides up or lifts up on the back. This, which I guess I'm looking at this the wrong way, because I guess this is the back of the car, or maybe it's the front. Maybe that comes down. I don't know. I guess we're gonna open it and find out. Maybe that looks, but see, look, there's a rivet right there. But no, no, because that's black and there's the blue base. And again, we can see, we'll hold that up. We're gonna actually open this. You guys, I have a hard time opening new things. That's another part of what this show is about. Is being okay with opening a dollar toy because I'm a grown ass man and I can go buy a dollar toy. I'm not particularly in the situation that we were growing up when we were kids. But I mean, it even goes to like this. I really like this microphone. This is one I use for voiceover. The voiceover work I do, I really, really like this microphone. I like the setup. And when it came, I actually didn't want to take it out of the box. Can you believe that? I actually did not want to take this mic out of the box. Because I thought, wow, this is a really nice looking mic. And then I got the shock mount that matches, and the pop filter to go over here, and I got another pop filter up there. But I did. I love it when stuff like that matches. And anyway, here we go. And of course, you guys know, right at the center, they're generally not glued, and that's for ease of opening. You just pull your finger in there, you pop it, whoop, and you drop it on the floor, no less. That went it's off. Okay. I'm crawling under the desk, guys. Bear with me for a moment. All right, there we go. Okay, here we are. What does this do? Does this do anything in particular? Does it come out? Special feature. I don't think it does. I don't know what that does. Does this open in the back here? I don't know. So, well, here, let's show you the bottom, show you the base. We'll put that up right close here. This is a Malaysia. This actually, I think, that might be a metal base. Metal base, both rivets. Man, you can see the wheels actually spin real free. Look at that. This is probably a really fast roller, but it's got a lot of detail. Check that out. Just so much detail on there. The black exhaust, or is that supposed to be a turbine in there? Um, what was it in Speed Racer? They were building a car in the movie. It's a Bernoulli, something, Bernoulli. Oh gosh, I've seen that movie so many times and now I can't remember a simple line from it. But you know, engine, the gold on this and the purple around the uh, wheels here, the rims are so cool. What is this supposed to do? Special feature. Special feature. It just, does anybody know what that means? It doesn't really say. It just shows that. I don't know. Maybe is it supposed to you you pop it and do a wheelie? Is it supposed to be some kind of motorized skateboard? I don't know. I don't know. Um, super chromes, mirror-like cars that shine on track. Build your Hot Wheels collection by visiting www.hotwheels.com. Enter the code and show your cars. It's got the code there. This is 6 out of 10 in the X Team series or Super Chrome series. And it says special feature. I don't get the special feature. I don't get it. Guys, what's it do? Doesn't seem like it really does anything unless it's just really something that you push down on and it's like a wheelie thing. And I cannot read. It says limited lifetime warranty. I don't care about the warranty. I don't care about, hey, all rights reserved, blah 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 blah. That's great. Mattel makes Hot Wheels. We all know that. Consumer information, special feature. I don't know. It's a cool car though. Very cool car. You know what? And now I've hemmed and hawed about this. I got to sign this. I know. You know, even some people were saying, "Why are you signing those?" Well, you know what? Someone said if you're going to open them on YouTube, should this ever actually really blow up, open them, save them, and then if people want them later on, maybe we can do giveaways with them. But I'm going to go ahead and sign it. There we go. Sign that. There we go. Signed it, and that this was uh, opened new, and today's date is 4/18/2019 on Hot Wheels and a Dork. There you go. Signed, and I'll tape the little box back on here. But folks, there's another one down. I think we've done 5 or 6 of these now, and we'll keep going as long as people keep watching and shooting me notes. Again, you can sponsor Hot Wheels in a Dork. You can sponsor and advertise on 24/7 WPL. Send a note to 247WPL@gmail.com. And let me know if you'd like to sponsor Hot Wheels in a Dork. That's cool. It's fine. This is exclusive YouTube live stream content. I'm doing them every Thursday and Friday here on 24/7 WPL's YouTube channel, getting ready to upload a couple more episodes of the Pete Talks Job Show that's already streaming over the 24/7 WPL platform, as well as over the Pete Talks Job podcast platform. That show. We've got Civil Tension also streaming out over 24/7 WPL. We might, if I can talk people into it, we might do a Facebook or a YouTube live of Civil Tension. But again, thanks for joining me for Hot Wheels and a Dork. Already over 19 minutes long. You guys, I got to talking about Speed Racer, and I love it so much. This is a really cool car. This rolls really well. This one right here, I really like the color on that. But thanks for hanging out with me a little bit again, and we will see you tomorrow, Friday, for another episode of Hot Wheels and a Dork. Take care, guys. So long.